Hello, so fam, what's up? What's it do? Welcome to K&M Witchery or Readings by K&M. That's me. I am Kat Nicoletta Monroe, for those of you who may not know. Welcome to your spiritual check-in, aka general reading. Whatever comes out, comes out. Hopefully it's what it is that you need to hear right now. The intention with these spiritual check-ins is always to offer y'all as much healing, clarity, and practical spiritual advice towards your soulful evolution. Why is my nose running? Some of y'all could be getting sick or becoming better from being really sick. Could also mean sinuses. In traditional Chinese medicine, if I'm not mistaken, relate a lot to like anxieties and stresses. So some of y'all could be like feeling as though you're running like 1,000 miles a minute and not really offering yourself an opportunity to stop. Hence why perhaps maybe some of y'all are feeling a little bit more sick and stuff like that. I personally myself have overgone a really difficult times when it came to like my chronic illness myself. So like I'm a little struggle bear with y'all, okay? Times are a little bit more rough than they are usually. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on cosmically that are just kicking our ass at this time. Now, this is a timeless reading, but whenever it is that you do come across it, you're meant to hear whatever's here. So that's enough shuffling. The first card out, we have the Three of Wands. Okay. I'm using the Antique Anatomy Tarot, by the way. For those of y'all wondering, we have Justice and the Seven of Cups. All right, so there may be a little bit of a question right now, Sophie, about like which path to take, which opportunity to like plunder on, whilst also recognizing your worth. I just heard I'm out of options. I have no choice. Some of y'all could be feeling as though you're really pressured to do something, and perhaps maybe you're not exactly aware of what the outcome will be. My throat chakra jacking up right there is saying that like this is something that could perhaps maybe be quite frightening for you to act on, for you to speak out loud into existence or into overall being. Remember, this is a general reading, so only ever take what it is that applies and how it is that applies to y'all, okay? I try to get specific without being too specific simultaneously, if that makes sense. Y'all know how I roll. If you don't subscribe, join the tribe, okay? Remember to do all of those YouTube-y things. And yet, I do want to mention, the Empress comes out. You created this outcome, and perhaps maybe the only reason why it feels frightening and uncertain is because perhaps maybe you've delayed your action on it for like quite some time, that now it's almost as if you're being pushed into it, you know? And I do want to say that implementing a level of discernment as well as detachment will be quite helpful for you. Discernment to help you truly gauge the right types of responses that you are now to have, and detachment, not from the person, place, or thing that you're looking to kind of like separate or remove yourself from here, because you have to let go of one thing in order to pursue another, is what I'm sensing here. But rather detachment from the overall outcome. The sniffles. You guys could be really afraid right now to pursue something that is likely to offer y'all a lot of success in the long run, because it's a little bit more so outside of your comfort zone. The Knight of Coins comes out too. So with the Empress and the Knight of Coins, this is going to take a while. So I do want to say that there is no permanence to your decisions, almost ever, okay? When it comes down to this human experience, we are to kind of keep rolling with the punches, okay? Eventually, things kind of phase out if you will. They serve their purpose and we are then meant to move forward. And perhaps it could just be that it's sad, okay? It's the comfort of all that you had already built, and now choosing to kind of like move towards something that like, who knows what the outcome could be, right? I mean, when it comes down to the Seven of Cups, the options, and yet simultaneously, y'all are almost left with no option. There's nothing left. I looked for you everywhere. So this is kind of coming in a bunch of different ways. Some of y'all could perhaps maybe be hoping to perhaps leave a particular job and have a couple options to choose from when it comes to obviously new job opportunities, and where you have no choice could be due to like layoffs or perhaps maybe management kind of like breathing down your neck due to your performance, going like, if this doesn't get better, you're gonna get the boot, you know? It could also be about love and romance. Like, you could be really single and be looking for someone and other people, and yet being unable to find them. And thus, it's almost like it leaves you with no choice but to like go back to that person, or at least that's what you're feeling in your heart. And there's obviously anxieties about things like that, right? Like, did I really truly like lose an opportunity? Now that love piece could also take into consideration to those of y'all who are now feeling as though you're being prompted to leave a particular relationship. And then the option comes like, what's going to happen later for myself, for my love life? Am I going to be alone? Like, there's all of these different like mental contemplations that are coming into play. And yet with Justice out here, okay, which is like a really cool adaptation of like the brain and your heart, there is a really interesting merger here that must take place with you really trusting in your intuition and using the right types of, again, discernment and like affirmations and thus actions in order to follow your heart. And it's going to take a while. Like, the Knight of Coins takes the long route, okay? Wants to ensure everything is in its place, isn't afraid to take their time. And the thing is though, like, the slower you go, the longer you're able to go, you know? Like, as opposed to burning out all of your resources and energy and money and time and whatever else may be on your plate right now, taking your time, trusting the process, detaching from an outcome of how it is that you think things are gonna go and allowing it to just flow, you'll be able to really ultimately create a really healthy conclusion to this particular story, which will thus begin anew. Yeah? Cool. And I do want to say with the Three of Wands, like, you've already, I don't know if you're being pressured into making this change, or if it's kind of already been like made for you, or if you've just simply decided that like, I'm out of options. This is what it is that I gotta do. However it is that your pendulum swings with this particular general reading, trust your heart, okay? Like, you already know what your intuition, what your heart is telling you to do. The path that you are to take isn't about whether it's right or wrong. It's about, okay, you're always on the right path. Let me just put that out there, okay? The path that everyone talks about when people ask me, especially clients, like, Kat, I just want to know if I'm on the right path. Babes, of course you are. You lay down the bricks with every decision you make, with every step that you take. You choose the direction that you're heading in life. That's the beautiful free will that we have in this lifetime. And so how it is that you lay these bricks, you could do so from a fearful state or from a faithful state. And these two, it's like the devil and the angel on your shoulder, like these two types of perspectives is what's going to formulate how it is that you yourself are going to perceive and react to a potential outcome. So if you're constantly thinking like something really bad is going to happen, you're only ever going to train your unconscious mind, this powerful unconscious mind, to only note all of the shit that isn't working out, you know? But if you flip the script on yourself and you use a more positive perspective, not in a form of toxic positivity and spirituality that negates the overall emotional and human experience and bypasses spirituality, but rather allows you to build up the right types of courage, I want to say, to move forward and to like believe that you can do it. And like, sure, your legs may burn on this way towards your hill of paradise, and yet you know it's going to work out in your favor, and thus you're now training your mind, your powerful unconscious mind, to point out all of the things that are working out. You see? Do you see? You create your destiny. So take your time as well, right? Like, I know some of y'all may feel as though you're being pushed and pressured into things, but like as soon as you make a decision, or if the decision was already made for you, and whatever next step it is that you are to take, whatever that step is, whatever stone and brick you gotta lay for yourself to build this like new foundation, if you will, it's you're going to be allowed to make mistakes. Let me put it in that perspective, okay? You're going to be allowed to like catch a breath. So do whatever it is that you got to do to like pour into yourself in order to minimize the anxieties. Okay. And I know sometimes anxiety and like fear in general is more hard to control naturally, because it's an unconscious reaction that we have. And yet again, the more that you work on your ability to perceive uncomfortable emotions and thoughts and circumstances in general as something that you can overcome, you begin to again switch up the anxiety into courage, and thus are going to be more willing to act and move forward, which is definitely in your best behavior, because like it or not, some of y'all, whoever are still here tuning in, like, someone's lighting a fire under your ass. And you gotta go, one way or another. It's just a matter of choosing which path you're going to take. The Three of Cups comes in. Use your resources. Use the people that you trust in and around you. I just heard they're not helpful. Okay. So then substitute, let's say like some of your friends, the Three of Cups also came out. So there's something about 333 also came into mind there as well. I heard masonry, chill out, okay? Not everything just means one particular thing. Respectfully, of course. Perhaps you've been going to a particular friend or a family member, let's just say, about a particular experience, conundrum, problem, if you will, okay? And the advice that they're feeding you kind of triggers you. And it's not really giving you the fulfillment that you need, the confidence, right? It's just kind of, I don't know, it's like you're rejecting it. Change your resource then. Like, if you feel as though the type of advice and collaboration and feedback that you're receiving from one particular person or whatever in your life isn't suiting you, and you feel this, because otherwise why were we having this conversation? I ask the question, like, why are you then having the conversation with that particular person? Perhaps maybe ask somebody else. And if you're gonna sit here and tell me, well, Kat, I have nobody else, ask your unconscious mind, where can I obtain the information that is rightfully available to me? And lo and behold, you're gonna catch a resource, like tuning into this video, for example. Or perhaps you're gonna be prompted to book with me, or with anybody. By the way, you do so at knwitchery.com if you're ever interested, okay? Go a different direction. Try something new as opposed to repeating the same things over and over again, which is the definition of insanity, expecting a different outcome. Detach from that. Use your discernment. Trust in what it is that your heart is telling you, because that's going to help you truly invite the right types of people, places, and things to help you on your way. And if you're still gonna sit there and tell me, Kat, I have nobody. Well, babes, you have yourself, okay? So utilize your own personal power. It's so fucking weird. It's like some of y'all like know what it is that you gotta do, and yet you're convincing yourself that that's still not the right path, even though every single thing is pointing you forward. So much so that, again, some of y'all are just flicked into that direction. The decision was made for you. And then the Ace of Coins comes out. So there's this really beautiful, like, foundation, again, that y'all are building for yourself that is manifesting before you. And true, like sometimes new things can be a little bit like anxiety inducing. It's like starting a new job, getting into a new relationship. Like you gotta learn the ropes first, you know, how you are to act, react, what things that you gotta really get training on, if you will. Now, I'm not saying you gotta get training in relationships, but the point is like you gotta learn how that person's function, you know? What they allow and what they don't allow, what types of boundaries you gotta set in place for yourself. You're laying down the bricks to this new foundation. And yet you're expecting to like move in the second you lay down like 3 bricks. You're like, oh my God, I have to move in tomorrow. Like what? You haven't even put the drywall in yet. This is just the foundation that you're laying down is what it is that I'm saying, right? Like it's just the beginning. And I think the fear of an ending, the what ifs, or the types of what ifs that you're circulating in your mind is what's refraining you from actually allowing you to use the happier types of mentalities in order to build a more positive outcome. So what if you succeed? What if everything like works out better than you've honestly expected it to? What if you can take your time? What if being in a rush is just an illusion? Decondition yourself from past ways of being, Soulfam, because it's no longer working for ya. Ooh, I'm getting a headache. This is blowing some of y'all minds. And it does take some mental work and training, okay? And yet it's very possible. By the way, you could use hypnotherapy to speed that along. That's something that I offer. The 10 of Swords, as I'm getting this headache, okay? It could just very well be that, okay, listen, the more that you refuse to listen to your intuition and the things that like you know you are to do, the heavier it's gonna feel, the louder it becomes. The more you're gonna criticize yourself. It's like, oh, I'm so stupid. I should have just done this before. Cancel. Stop talking to yourself like that. You did what it is that you felt you had to do because at that point in time, it was the safest thing you could have done for yourself to protect yourself and protect your heart. Give me 1 second because my battery's gonna die, so I'm gonna just like replace it real quick. And just like that, we are back, okay? And because I use everything as a metaphor in my particular readings, Soulfam, offer yourself a bit of a break. Re-energize your battery. Switch things up for yourself. Do so with grace. Oh no, my battery ran out. Was I supposed to like speed up this reading and like panic my way through? Nah. I just switched the battery up. But I think some of y'all are like making things out to be like worse than they really are. And like, that's okay. It's a really normal thing to do once in a while. We're human, okay? Stop beating yourself up for something because you could have done better or you should have done this. It doesn't matter anymore. It's in the past. It happened. What did you learn from it? What can you do differently next time? Because next time is here. So stop repeating the same damn mistakes. Okur, The Queen of Wands comes on in to remind you to start or restart loving your life a little bit more, loving on yourself a little bit more, finding more of the joy in things. Again, how it is that you're choosing to perceive is what you are going to receive. It's like the red car theory. You tell yourself red car, I'm going to see more red cars, and all of a sudden, every third vehicle on the road is a red car. It's because you're choosing to notice them now, but they were all there. It's not some grand coincidence that all of a sudden every single red vehicle that ever existed just turned out to be in your neighborhood. Nah, you just didn't have your attention placed towards that. Hence, choose to tell yourself to show you the things that are aligned to you right now. The resources that you need to truly carry you through whatever it is that you are going through. Your mind is very powerful. Now, I could be biased because neuro-linguistic programming is kind of my shtick. Okay, I love NLP for that reason. But it's through your mind and your thoughts that you're able to truly manipulate, for lack of better words, your own reality. And you no longer become a victim to it, but rather you take control as best as you possibly can. Now, obviously, things happen out of the blue that plunger you into more stress and strain and pain and all of that. Yes. And how long you choose to sit in that particular state is up to you. Okay? This is what it is that we do have control over. It's our reactions to unprecedented circumstances. And times are tough all over the world right now, okay? This isn't a competition of, oh, this person has it worse than you, so be happy. Stop. The 10 of Coins comes out here to honestly tell me that your outcome is going to be beautiful. It's going to be great. Slowly but surely lay down the bricks. You have exactly what it is that you need right now. Even though it may feel like perhaps maybe it's not enough, look at what it is that you do have. It's like the Magician in tarot. Now, it didn't come out here, obviously, but I'm being shown it. The Magician works with one tool from every single suit. A sword, a wand, a coin, and what am I missing? A cup. Just one. He's not saying, oh, I have to collect all 10 of everything to make it work. He goes, all right, hold on. I got one of each. It's all it is that I need right now. And with this, I'm going to manifest an abundance thereof. Happily manipulating my circumstances, my reality. So your foundation could be weak, or it could be really strong. And that is based on, again, what it is that you decide. So when you're laying down these bricks, right, we gotta look at the formula of manifestation. If we're gonna go down that route, okay? It's focus, emotion, and action. All your focus, emotion, and action must line up to the outcome that it is that you want to manifest. The focus. You're going to solely focus on the positives, the best types of resources that it is that you need, the types of answers that you know will fulfill your soul and guide you on your way. Rejecting everything else, using your powerful discernment, and staying focused on your goal. And then your emotions. We're going to alleviate that anxiety, and we're going to simply, well, not so simply sometimes, but we're going to choose to slap a smile on our face and be like, okay, we're gonna laugh it off, we're gonna shake it off. I just heard somatic exercise. So for some of y'all who perhaps maybe are in talk therapy, just really intellectualizing your way through, just really wanting to understand the why and the how so much so, and like intellectualizing, well, I'm feeling like this because XYZ, as opposed to like, I don't know, actually feeling it, you know? It's through feeling and through expression that you will heal, that you will be able to drop the energetic load off of your back and become lighter, right? So do some emotional work and thus become happier, become more at peace, however this resonates with y'all. And lastly is action. Using the focus and the right types of emotion, we're going to be able to then choose fear or faith, how it is that we're going to lay those bricks, or if you're even going to lay those bricks at all. Which, so fam, it seems as though a lot of y'all got left with no other choice. You got to lay down them bricks or you ain't going to have a home. Now, I hope that doesn't mean literally to some of y'all, but I do sense that like moving has something to do with it. These nose itches are real this round. And I know there's a lot of y'all tuning in, so again, take it as it resonates only. I heard last card. What else y'all got for me? This card here. The Six of Cups. What goes around comes around, my darlings, okay? So what it is, this isn't necessarily like karma necessarily, but it can be. It's like how it is that you, okay, if you were going to pursue down this new path with fear and anxiety, your outcome is only going to be manifested as more fear and more anxiety. Like you're going to prove yourself right. Y'all feeling me so far? So if you choose the path of faith, that despite the fear, you have faith that it's really truly going to work out to your utmost benefit, guess what the outcome is going to be? Better than you freaking expected. Better than your ego has convinced you it's going to be. And thus, you get to choose your reality. Mic drop. Okay, cool. So switch up your resources because they're around. You're just not choosing to go in that direction for whatever reason. Okay, you've convinced yourself, woe is me. Oh my God, I'm a victim of my circumstances. Respectfully, cancel. You're allowed to feel like shit. You're allowed to feel afraid. So feel it in order to release it, which will then help you substitute it with more positive things. And by positive, I don't mean good and bad, okay? Like just because an emotion and a thought is uncomfortable doesn't mean it's negative. It's just uncomfortable. It's not preferred. But you are stronger than your emotions and your mentality is currently making you out to be. So whatever it is that the universe, whether literally or hypothetically, is pushing you towards, please know that it's in your absolute best interest right now, because staying still will only hurt you even further. And you deserve it better than that, do you not? Yeah. Okay, cool. So I did hear my snaps. That's a bibbity all from me, soul fam, for this spiritual check-in. Let me know how it resonates. And I'm wishing y'all very well on this journey. Remember, choose the path of faith. Okay? Okay. Love you guys. Mwah. Until the next time. Until next time. That's what okay. Whatever. Bye.